The fashion picture for spring and summer 1962 is alive with new, gay, more formal and festive occasions. The new emphasis is on prettiness, fit and flair. As in this new coat, higher waisted, much more fitted, more open at the neckline. Also new is the color of the coat, jonquil yellow, fresh and bright as the first bloom of spring. Suit silhouettes are widely varied from the short fitted waistline length to the longer flared silhouette. A special favorite is this suit in the new, more formal shiny material with higher waistline, small armholes, and no collar. One of the rich collection of styles for the new season created by America's talented designers. Fit and flair provide the theme for the dress story. This one has a bias fitted midriff, reaching from hip line to bosom. The skirt is slim. Up-to-the-minute apparel, produced for every budget by our great fashion industry. A uniquely American blend of craftsman's skills and mass production techniques. A modern apparel factory is equipped with strange and wonderful machines to speed production without sacrificing workmanship. Making buttonholes this way is easy. And here are the buttons to go with them. How would you like to compete with this machine? One of a number of fancy stitching machines designed for time-saving and cost-saving special operations. A machine for pinking seams the painless way. A cross between a vacuum cleaner and a clipper, this inhales and snips off all stray threads. But the basic machine in any apparel factory is still the familiar sewing machine. More efficient and much faster than its ancestors, it remains dependent on the individual worker's skill. One of the major American industries in which the worker's skill is more important than the machine. Every style begins its life as a vision, lines on a designer's pad. Art translated into reality with scrupulous care. A sample maker makes the first garment. Then production gets underway. Laying out a pattern for maximum use of the fabric is of immense importance when hundreds of garments are cut at once. A saving of a few inches in a single garment can add up to many precious yards. The consumer benefits in lower costs. In mass production, cutting is done by machines that knife through thick layers of fabric with infinite care and precision as they follow the designer's line. One style and one size at a time. Colors for every taste. Skill is an important ingredient in every phase of American apparel production and accounts for the distinctive superiority of fit in our apparel in all price ranges. Even in mass production, there's a certain amount of hand sewing. These hands, moving with a steady rhythm of their own, know their job. At least once during the production process, and often 2 or 3 times, the pressers take over, using their ponderous equipment to define the most delicate lines. This would add luster to any wardrobe. Another basic step, an examiner goes over the finished garment, a last look before it's shipped. Variety in color, fabric, and style, for every taste and budget, is a hallmark of American fashion, and so is the label. Sewn into most garments produced in our country, the ILGWU label is a symbol of skilled work performed in clean shops. Under the exacting standards of vision and craftsmanship. A symbol of human values. Signature of 450,000 men and women who, through their union, have won fair standards, the dignity of a voice in their own conditions of employment, a position of respect in their communities. in more ways than one, the stuff that dreams are made of. A style innumerable American women may wear, adaptable to many ways of life, and at a price most anyone can afford. The Career Girl will brighten any office and her day, too, in this neon pink sheer wool. The same style in refreshing pastel green for our campus miss, ideal for the classroom and weekend travel. Our suburban housewife chooses it in black, always smart and wonderful to accessorize. And here it is finally for a day of important shopping in town. It's eye-catching fashion points, a double row of buttons, narrow loop sash, and the interesting flared hem. Missy's bright green cotton fitted coat, so right for spring. And Big Sister in a checked wool coat dress in the new hourglass shape, outlined with bias bands. Spring and summer, a time for brides. In the bridal salon of her favorite retail store, the bride chooses her own way of looking like a dream from one of the latest wedding gown designs. Stately in re-embroidered lace with scalloped hemline. Fragile in finely tucked organdy. With romantic elbow sleeves. Bridesmaids this year will be wearing the hit color of yellow roses, perhaps in chiffon with a deep flounce. Or with the butterfly touch of tiny tailored bows. This tiered linen dress with deep borders of re-embroidered lace is for the practical bride. Well, sort of practical anyway. Without the long skirt and detachable train, she can wear the same dress for evening parties, long after the wedding. Some wedding dresses will be short to begin with, as this lovely embroidered organdy with a pale yellow sash. The delicate capelet is detachable. This ankle-length, two-piece cotton lace wedding dress has one of the new fitted overblouses. Trousseau lingerie follows both the glamorous tradition and the latest fashion. Sheer and wispy as a cloud, a new high-waisted gown and peignoir. The luscious look of flowered chiffon. Now the great day dawns, and the bride and her flower girl step into the dream. Sister's dress fluffs out in layers of dainty Swiss embroidered organdy. Her sash is really 3 sashes of blue satin ribbon. The bride has chosen silk organdy, fitted and deeply bordered in appliqued Chantilly lace. Somehow, all brides are beautiful. But let's come back to earth and pick your new costume. There's such a variety to choose from this season. It's every woman for herself. For cool days and chilly evenings, in coats, the trend is collarless, usually slim, and very fitted. Buttons, often covered buttons, play an important role in design and color contrast. The neutral tone is favored by our coat and suit designers, especially in pattern fabric. Patterns vary from the crossbar design on this trim little suit to the giant houndstooth checks woven in for the sashed coat. The brown and white checked wool tweed is fitted too, with a flared panel back. Navy blue, a spring perennial, is again high fashion this year. These represent the move toward very short jackets and the fitted waistline. More flare at the top in little capes instead of jackets. The one on the left is reversible from red to white. The coral cape is significant with raised welt seams to underscore new brevity and flair. The long jacket suit, which many women prefer, has its new look in very noticeable fitted lines at the front. Here's the other extreme, very short, in gray flannel. And the tiniest of all, a white linen jacket sporting a tremendous single button. The coat dress will compete with the suit in many smart wardrobes this year. These are slim and fitted, or full with a lowered neckline and sash. Detail, detail. This will be a year when every detail counts in your rating for smartness. Buttons, for instance, make the point in both of these, the fitted and the cape costume. Note the high and wide, handsome spring hats, bearing the important millinery union label. Buttons again make their charming mark on these outdoor dresses in the new bright pastel silks. And the narrow button dress for evening in white silk, fastened down one side. More coat and jacket gaieties with the tendency to mold the figure and look delicately feminine in every way. Pale colors, the high empire bust line, and even a little lace collar added on to a jacket. This little Lord Fauntleroy collar is a charming grace note for many new fashions. The princess dress without a belt, very popular last year, is due to be even more so in '62, fitted at the waist with more flare at the hem. This coat dress starts out in the unbelted princess shape, then changes its mind and adds a high, soft sash of brown suede. The outdoor fashion picture in an increasingly outdoor-minded America is as bright and gay as a modernistic canvas. Bold strokes of bright color are whimsically arranged and daringly cut. Others full of demure charm. A must companion for sunner or swimmer, the brief cover jacket, this one in linen, flared beneath a fitted bust line. The new shapes of swimsuits, a tan's best friend, are designed in various ways to flatteringly mold the figure, some softly draped, others strictly tailored. Flower-strewn bathing suits mingle with broad stripes. And the bared midriff, a wearable way to be daring. Covered up and flowery in the best cover girl tradition. Underneath, short little boy pants. This bathing suit in pink wool knit beautifies the figure on land and takes nothing away from championship form. Here's the latest word from the ocean front. This little beach tent of awning stripes. It buttons down the side. You'll see lots of dainty flower prints on the beach, too, like this pretty blouse with the round collar. Never too young or too old to wear ruffles and roses. The embroidered ballerina top with this tutu skirt can be worn with or without these snug cotton slacks. Mother and daughter in fashionable togetherness at the seashore. Pants go to all lengths, from snug-fitting short shorts to the very new tapered hipster pants, cut down below the waist. Tennis, anyone? A new version of the classic tennis dress in drip-dry nylon jersey, precisely pleated and belted. This spring, on the golf course, and for other sports, you'll find the deep pleated action skirts, ending just above the knee. The perfect companion. Looks like the ping pong set favors the same type of skirt. The long and short of the sports topper. South Seas designs on silk with plain slacks. The bright abstract art print and the prim ballerina ruffle emphasize two more of this year's fashion themes for leisure and vacation wear. More and more this summer, you'll change to a pretty dress, giving you the highly desirable slim look at the waist. There's news, too, in multicolors in wide stripes or plaids. These full-skirted ginghams have wide midriffs and broom-pleated skirts. And good news, they wash. More fashion effects, contrasting colors, accentuate diagonal lines. The flared tunic coat dress stops short to reveal a narrow skirt. One big button and a row of navy fringe make this simple white silk dress fashionable. Here, giant silk scarf prints, the size of palm leaves, and very colorful. From suburban supermarket to a day in town, the cardigan costume remains neat and trim. Smart knit ensembles, available in high colors, a vast range of sizes, and at all prices. Hooray for the red, white, and blue. Fashions do some cheering, too, in tri-colored combinations. These flag-inspired dresses spark with important fashion points: reefer jackets, silk braid piping, and pleated skirt. Flag colors again in a sheer wool suit, cut free and easy. On the boardwalk, a crisp linen costume and the new giant sailor collar dress. A wide cinched belt minimizes the waist. These vacationers look fashion-wise in a new peekaboo overblouse, the high bosom sport coat, and the flared back jacket, all in the important bright pastels. The sleeveless shift dress has also become an American summer favorite, especially in candy-colored silks. These show a variety of pleated skirts that move gracefully in the slightest breeze. Dollar-sized pearl buttons sparkle on this spick-and-span cotton dress, just as pretty going as coming. Banded in lace and tucks, it's girlishly sashed in bright pink. A big bouquet decorates the front and back of this full-skirted polished cotton dress with a new diamond-cut midriff formed in bias tucks. Evening fashion is starry-eyed and starry-minded. Our American designers go along with the idea of making every woman more breathtakingly beautiful than ever this year. Black and white polka dot cravat silk makes a dramatic entrance. Notice the deep V neckline, the wide fringed satin sash, poised high, and the long, tight sleeves. It'll be a great year for prints. The larger and more exotic, the better. These fantasy prints play up slenderness and the normal waist. Every woman's wardrobe should include one or more. Summer evening clothes are both delicate and grand, even when they are short. These gleam with elegant beading on printed chiffon. The one on the right has crystal beaded fringe around the edges of the overblouse. Beads intricately embroidered follow the floral pattern and color on this bodice. This printed silk conveys its own gleam in satin chiffon. The large printed motif is as smart for formal wear as on the beach. This willowy silk dress has a tied halter neckline. The slim dress has a shawl edged with cords of the printed silk. Border prints are new and exciting. This is one of the group called Art Nouveau. The border is printed on, not sewn on. No summer is complete without floating chiffon, and now they're much fuller with tiny waists. Trimming gives new excitement to the slim silhouette. Tiny ruchings of fabric on printed chiffon provide a richly textured effect. The black slim dress is all aflutter with ruffles in narrow tiers, while ruffles are sewn diagonally on the brown chiffon, ending with the new uneven hemline. The full-skirted cotton dress that looks as important as satin. It has a matching stole. Nothing like lace to add fresh elegance to the grand evening scene. A lovely example of this season's fit and flair. There's flair, too, in this jet-embroidered, sleeveless jacket. A dress and coat in apricot silk brocade flare into petal curves. Prints blossom into full bloom for evening in this striking cutaway jacket over its matching dress. A romantic feeling is evident in these slim and stately silk chiffons. Spring and summer's lovely expressions of femininity, beguiling samples of the great new styles created by American designers to keep American women the most fashionable in the world. All are produced by the 450,000 skilled men and women who make up the International Ladies Garment Workers Union and who proudly sign their work with the ILGWU label.